morning, Creative Mornings DC. Welcome back to the Kennedy Center. Woo! Let's give some love to the Kennedy Center. We're so happy to be here. Yay. Okay, this is fun. Here we go. All right. I am Kaylee Bryant Greenwell. I am the host of our CMDC. It's my pleasure to welcome you back to the Reach at the Kennedy Center. We're so happy to be here. We are thinking about Crossroads today. It's going to be a good one, guys. And are they actually working? Cool. We are happy to have our global partner sponsoring us, Adobe. Yay, Adobe. Everybody knows what Adobe is. I'm not going to explain this. Yay. Yay, Adobe. Sponsoring Creative Mornings globally. So happy about that. Oops, sorry. Yay. And here we go. And very happy today we have our local partners here with us. Charlestown AV, Jeremy in the back, and Chris is here as well. Give it up, lots of love. We are able to have our presentations filmed, recorded for our speakers on our YouTube page. You know it, you go there, you click it for your tickets. We're only able to do that because of their generosity. Yay, yay. Thank you. And Plants Alive provides our ASL interpretation when needed. Of course, you know how to contact us for those requests. So yay, Plants Alive. Yay, our sponsors. And this year, we are very excited for the launch of Taste Coffee. Woo, come on, love, lots of love, lots of love. Oh, this one's working now. Great, okay. Thank you. So, our very own Obi, he's back there, Reggie, and Jason launched Taste this year, Taste Coffee. Go to tastecoffee.com and get your coffee. They are sponsoring us as our title sponsor this year. Woo! And look at that. Give you a second to take a shot of that. 15% off your first order with code CMDC15. We'll say it again. 15% off, CMDC15. Thank you, Taste. Once again, thank you to the Kennedy Center. The Kennedy Center is very generous to provide us this space. As you can see, there's a lot of work that goes into this very volunteer, unpaid shindig that we call CMDC. We are so grateful for all of the tech support, for the event support. So once again, please, the Kennedy Center team, let's hear it for them. Their generosity extends to hosting us multiple times. We will be back here next month for May, whatever date that is, the second to last Friday. And we'll also be here again in the summer. So thank you so much to the Kennedy Center. To show some more love to the Kennedy Center, check out the Summer Free Film Series. Shout out to that. And also the Millennium Stage free events. You want to go to a free event? They are here. Check them out. Go to the website. And then the crew that makes this happen. We love them. Our volunteers. Some are in the back. Some are checking you in. Behind the scenes. Nobody gets paid. Give them all the love. Mackenzie in the back making all these great slides because I'm not a designer, guys. Thank you. If you want to join our Day of Volunteer team, you want to contact Amari at Amari Donovan creativemornings@gmail.com, which is on the screen. We would love to have you. As you know, because you get the emails so that you can get the tickets. By the way, we opened tickets for this event at 10 a.m. on Monday, and we were sold out by, well, I checked at 3 p.m. It may have been earlier than that. This is our community. We want to be here. We love each other. You get the emails, so you know what the field trips are, but the virtual opportunities to connect more globally as well. But we're here, we're showing up for community. Give it up to us. Come on. I know, it's Friday. It's Friday morning, but we are here. Okay, and speaking of that, bring a friend, make a friend. Hands up for our first timers. What? Welcome first timers. Lots of love to you. Can't wait to see you again and again and again and again. Yes, tell your friends, bring a first timer. We are here for our community. So, did I do that right? Yep. Globally, they finally updated this slide. Cool. Yes, globally, we are all around the world. If you are traveling and curious about another chapter, typically the last Friday of the month, in pretty much every cosmopolitan city, there is a Creative Mornings, so you can check it out. We are typically the second to last Friday of the month. Why? Because Baltimore is only a 45-minute trek on Amtrak. They are the last Friday of the month. We'll be plugging them some more because we're going to do a speaker exchange this year. So if you want to see Baltimore, the opportunity is there. Last Friday of the month. Go global Creative Mornings. Woo! Oh, okay. Yes, that's you. We're going to go back one. No, we're not. Here we are. This is our theme today, Crossroads. And our speaker, Leah Judson, we're very excited. You know that I don't read bios. I don't do that. You got your ticket on the website. You read the bio. You know how awesome she is. But we are very excited. Storyteller, photographer, traveler extraordinaire, connector to people. Really, really all about the connections. One thing I will say, if you are a speaker, because I won't read your bio on stage, I will, however, digitally stalk you so I can find some weird little tidbit that I can share. Surprise! Don't you want to be a speaker now? I was listening to a podcast, yes, and Leah had described herself as a photographer, but photography is not her superpower. So we're gonna let that sit in our brains as we welcome Leah Judson. Thank you.
Oh my God, it does work right away. Okay, guys, I don't know if me having a mic is a good thing or a bad thing. I have way too many things in my hands now. Whew. Okay, this is what superpowers feel like. I'm like, beep, beep, beep. So I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys this morning. I have not prepared at all for this. Life has been lifing really, really hard. And every time I've decided to sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna go through the things. Some little fire decides to happen as soon as I sit down. One example would be that I started hatching chickens in my kitchen, and I thought, only 5 can be fertile. We're up to 42. And every time they peep, they decide to hatch at anywhere between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And when you just hear them go peep, 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 I swear my husband is just like, what did you do in his sleep? So I'm very tired. It's not just the chickens, but it's just been life, I feel like, for the past decade. I just have not had a break. But when I think about that, I've been trying to flip the script a little bit, make myself feel better, and think, oh, maybe I'm supposed to be a resource. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to, be here and kind of tell my story a little bit. Don't know what you guys are going to particularly take away from this, but my goal is that at least one little thing that I say today, you can either apply it to yourself, or there's going to be somebody that you randomly meet in some part of your life and be like, man, there was this chicken lady on stage. And she had some things to say. So with that being said, this is probably the second time I've seen these slides, so I have no idea what to put on these. Do I press the green button for next? Okay. Oh, okay, awesome. Setting the tone. You guys are going to go and essentially experience the most authentic version of myself, except I know that this is being filmed, and I have a potty mouth, so I'm going to try really hard to at least be filtered enough to be publicly acceptable in terms of the things that do come out of my mouth. But I am very awkward. I was actually making an exchange with friends earlier today, and I said, man, I kind of feel like that Ace Ventura Pet Detective movie. Like I haven't been to DC in a really long time, and if you've seen that movie, there's this part where the main character is like coming out of a rhino's butt, and just like falls out, and it's just this grotesque like reveal of him. And that's how I feel like, because the last time I got to publicly speak, if you haven't tell, is probably 2017, 2018, right before COVID. And yeah, so it's just, this is my re-entering in the most grotesque way that I can present to you guys. In a red dress though, so still looking cute. So I'd like to actually see a show of hands of people when they saw my photo, they're like, oh my God, she's in a cute farmer's hat. She's probably gonna convince me to be a homesteader. How can I do baby chickens in my backyard and kitchen? I would love to see who decided to come here because they thought I was gonna talk about homesteading. Oh, only one. Okay, awkward. Well, not what I expected. Skip that part of my notes. Well, if I didn't, I'm sorry, I catfished you. I'm not going to be talking about homesteading. That might be 1% of what, there will be baby chicken photos, so I'll promise you that. But I do want to at least kind of set the tone that we're going to go through an emotional roller coaster together. And because I didn't prepare for this, I'm going to convince myself that you and I are like long lost friends. We haven't seen each other in a long time. We're going to catch up over dinner. Yeah. So we're going to get the drinks. I'm going to be like, oh, how have you been? And then you're going to say some stuff. I'm like, that's nice. Listen to what's been going on with me. Okay? And with that, we're going to get the appetizers here. And if you have a phone either sitting on your lap, I'd love for you to put it in the air for me right now. Lap, anywhere nearby. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Now go ahead and put it in your bag, in your jacket, somewhere to hide it. Because the one thing that I hate about meeting up with friends and being at dinner is when I see the phone on the top of the table and it's like bing, bing, bing. And I'm like, this is you, me time. Okay? We have 1 hour together, if that. Give me 1 hour. Be present, which I feel like most of the time we're barely present, we're barely listening. And a big part of that is because we're going through our own things. We're going through our own crossroads. We're trying to figure out, okay, when is she going to be done so I can go do this thing at work, or am I going to be late? I might have to sneak out at some point. How can I like stealthily get out of here so I can go do my thing? But my hope is that if you can be present with me for whatever crazy stuff that's going to be coming out of my mouth in the next 45 minutes, that you'll at least be present enough with me that I can feel like I can walk out of here and I gave you something of value. Because I can tell you right now, my husband can attest to this, I do not get out of bed very often. For things that I'm like only a few things get me really excited. But most importantly, only a few things get me excited where I actually shave my armpits for you guys. Okay, I'm wearing stockings. What? I brushed my hair, even got my bangs trimmed. Too much. Dave was like, your bangs are really straight. I'm like, yes, trying a new look. So with that, again, put your phone away for me. Would love that. Don't know what the next slide is. Oh, I remember. Icebreaker. Okay, we all love a good icebreaker, right? So this is the part where we get the appetizers, yeah? And I get to hear about what's going on in your life. I know that everything that's happening to me, though, is way bigger. So we're going to just, small bites. We're going to get through it. What I'd like for you guys to do, I'm going to ask a series of questions. It's going to snowball into a little bit more serious. Beginning, super easy. But when you answer, all I want you to do is stand up in your seat. You don't have to give me your name. You don't have to tell me what the answer is. But I want you to take a second and look at other people who are standing with you in that moment, yeah? Okay, first one, super easy. Who had coffee this morning? Yeah. Solid coffee drinkers, yes. If I had coffee, can you imagine? This is me not caffeinated. Okay, go ahead and sit down for me, y'all. Who was tempted not to come today? Yeah, I love the honesty. Me too. The amount of times I've told Dave, I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to show up. Sorry, Creative Mornings. I was like, ugh. Who currently moved to DC in the last year? Okay. I want you guys to see each other. You might have something in common. All right, thanks, people. Welcome. Who is currently, and take this, interpret it as you will, who is currently in a season of transition? Aw, I don't know why I want to cry about that. Take a second. Yep, you can sit down. I tricked you. Sorry, that was a bad lead. Who feels like they've been trying to play catch up, but never seems to get there? Now this time, take a second. If there's people standing behind you, give a little wave, a little hug. Ooh, love the hug. Go ahead, sit down. Who likes to be in control? I was like, Dave, aka husband, I think most of the people who are going to be attending here probably type A, because who else would want to come out and do a morning thing? Thank you, you can sit. Who here has trouble asking for help? Probably the same people who like to be in control, right? Yeah. Go ahead, sit down. Who tends to carry other people's emotional weight before their own? Definitely me. That is me. What? Surprise. Okay, husband. Are you okay? Who feels pressure to always have the answers? Getting fewer and fewer. Interesting, the people who don't want to be in control. Go ahead and sit down. Last question. Who has had to let go of something or someone they weren't ready to lose? That one hits home for me this year. Okay, go ahead and sit down. I'm scared for the next slide. What is it? I'm like, is this going to be a video? I don't know. What I do want to say before moving forward, sorry, camera guy. He was like, don't squat, don't sit down. And I'm like, so sorry. Earlier, they're like, if you want to sit on the stage, you're going to have to come off. You can't just plop in the front. And I was like, I'm going to plop. So here I am. This is the part where we're finally getting our entrees, okay, guys? This is the dinner experience. And this is also the part where you ask, we're finally like, oh my gosh, tell me what's going on in your life. And you're so excited because you know that I'm going through a lot, at least in this case, or your friend across the table is going through a lot, and you decided to order pasta. And you're like, yeah, she's going to talk the whole time. And I get to enjoy this entire bowl of pasta without having to, take a break. No, I want you to enjoy the meal because I'm going to talk the entire time. I'm not going to ask you to get up anymore unless you need to use the restroom. So that's it. We move so fast in our lanes that we forget to look up and see others crossing paths with us. Crossroads, right? Creative Mornings asked me a couple years ago to speak, and I said, no, because the topic didn't resonate with me. I think it was something about like saying no. And I was in my yes girl era. So I was like, I don't even know how to speak about this because I'm constantly pushing people to do more than what they want to do. So when they came back to me last year and they're like, new topic, Crossroads, I was like, oh, that is literally the theme of my life. Constantly at a crossroad all the time. But the one thing that I felt that I was learning this year, and I'm still trying to practice, is someone told me not every crossroad that you're at, you're necessarily supposed to be taking. And that's not like okay, there's a Y in the path and like you either take that one or that one. No, I started thinking about it, if I'm a driver and I'm going to an intersection, there's other drivers, right? Some people don't know how to drive and like you came up first and they came and you're like, or you both came at the same time, but I'm the person on the right, so I should go, nope, and they're having a bad day, they go off, they're honking at you, and you're like, and it's just, we're constantly at intersections in our lives meeting people at what they're perceiving as their intersection as well, right? Rarely do we think, okay, we're doing this together. It's just you're living in your experience and everyone else around that is just meant to be this like spectator to what's happening in your life. And that's how I've been living for a really long time, is always feeling like I'm the main character and everyone's just kind of in my way. And I'd always end up being in my day and I'm like, why me? Why? Why did that person have to cut me off? Why did that person have to get in my way? I'm a nice person. I let them go first and I still didn't have a good day. What's going on? So we're going to start from the beginning, not the beginning, because we'd literally be here all day. But I'm going to start us at like 2016. Probably the first 2 rows-ish of people are from that era of my life. When I moved here to DC, I had trouble making friends. And I thought, let me gather a couple of ladies in some random dingy little part of the city and take some portraits of some gals. What I was noticing is a lot of these women who were together never met each other before, opening up to each other. There were girls crying in the corner. I was like, what is going on? And at the end of this experience, I ended up putting these pictures up of these ladies, and I made an observation of each person that I connected with their photo. Some woman reached out to me and she's just like, can I hire you for your portrait series? Love to do a collaboration. I was like, yeah, totally. Give me 2 weeks. I'll send you all my brand assets, which really meant give me 2 weeks. Let me figure out what I'm going to call this thing. What is this? How can I make money from it? Yada, yada. I was like, this is going to be my moment where I'm going to create some kind of job for myself, I guess. What I didn't realize is that this small portrait project was going to propel itself into this multi-year event series for women across the city. And I found this old video. It's really bad, guys. I promise I can shoot better than this. So think of this as like you found a VHS tape of like your home videos. It's really bad, but it will give you a glimpse of all the different types of people that came together for this. And a few faces that are actually here today. Sorry. Wait, oh no, the volume. My friends, how do I put the volume on the TV? Can I pause it? Oh no, and I can't go back. Yes, I can. We learned that. It's okay. It's okay. Wait, no. Oh, I don't know. I was saying we're good. Okay, let's see. Let's practice. Nope. Nada. Is this a me thing? Okay. I have not prepared anything for this part, so we're just going to awkwardly sit in silence. Actually, maybe it's your turn. This is the part where I'm interrupting your pasta. Yeah, you guys aren't supposed to see this. Oops, sorry, now I'm tricking you. All right, we're gonna try again. Okay, you want me to pause it? Okay. Right there's fine? Cool. And if you get out your phone right now, I'm gonna be very upset. This is not a time to break and check your phone. Unless you have some kind of crazy emergency, you need to be, sometimes we just need to sit and feel awkward together, and I love that. But these are also the times I wish I was like a comedian and I could just spitball some stuff, but I can't. Let me think of a story, though. More chicken stories. Oh my God, guys, don't tempt me with a good time. I'm scared I'll get rerouted. I'll tell you a sheep story instead. So I have 3 sheep, unplanned. Dave's not making eye contact with me. Remember, Dave is husband. My neighbor calls me up and they're like, hey, we didn't know that our sheep were pregnant, so do you want one? I said, got to talk to the husband about it. I don't know what we can do with that. They're like, okay, well, she's probably going to die anyways because she's a triplet. Sheep can only have 2 babies. Well, they should only have 2 babies. They only have 2 teats. So the third one means they won't get milk. So there's a higher probability that they're not going to live because they're not getting milk from the mom. So she's going to be a bottle feeder. But the likelihood of them living to be able to get enough nutrients because they're not getting real colostrum, blah, 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 most likely not going to live. But do you want to have the experience of just 24 hours of just being in sheep baby heaven? I said, yes. But let me talk to my husband. I get to the parking lot of Giant, sat there for 2 seconds, and I went, I'm going to get this sheep. So I went down, grabbed him, put this lamb in my lap, drove up to the house, and Dave's just shaking his head. He said, I already knew you were going to come home with the sheep as soon as you told me that you were thinking about it. He's like, what are we going to do with it? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, she can't be outside. This is the middle of the winter. She's got no wool, like just naked mole rat. And so so someone down the street's like, oh, I got a sweater. It's actually a little sheep sweater. We can put this sheep sweater on her. It's like, okay. They're like, but you can't leave her outside. She doesn't have any friends. Like, no mom, no nothing. I'm like, okay. Dave, can the lamb live in the house? And he's just like, well, it's got a butt. What are we going to do with that? And I was like, oh, should we put a diaper on it? And he's like, oh my God. I was like, well, I'm doing it. So I got a whole bunch of diapers. Put this freaking diaper on this sheep. Yeah? You guys are going to have to wait later. I'm dead. Oh my God. It's such a good story. Oh no, now I officially can't go back. Help me. No, oh yeah. I'll finish the sheep story. No, we can't. No, now I'm committed. I got to get back into character, y'all. I need to go. Oh, is it happening now? No, sir. I need to go back 2 slides. So anyways, the sheep. Her name is Lana Del Hay, by the way. The gentleman laughing in the back is laughing because he's experienced these sheep in real life. And he knows how crazy they was because they did escape when we were together. Here, I'll help. We can't go back? Oh, yeah? Yeah, buddy. All right. You're my hero. What's your name? What? I was going to tell you thank you. Chris, I don't know if that's your real name, but thank you. All right, now watch this really cheesy VHS video, okay? We started doing comedy shows, workshops, brunches, all the things. Man, there's some OG people in here. I love it. So each one of these events that I curated were actually like supper club dinner experiences. A lady would buy a ticket. They would come to like a stigmatized topic, anywhere between the societal pressures of being, the perfect mother, or really hard topics around sexual assault. We'd have a professional that was kind of embedded in the audience to ensure that if anything triggering came up in those conversations, I love this. This was a, we were celebrating a lot of great things here. Oh, I love so many memories, guys. Anyway, so these dinner experiences, and in each one of these experiences, I would photograph and interview each participant during this dinner. So over time, I ended up photographing over 400 women that participated in this series. We ended up building into, God, I mean, it was just so powerful. I know there's thousands of people in this city, but it was a space where women could come together, no phones, so staying on brand. And you also couldn't say what you did or who you worked for. You had to come into the space completely stripped of the things that would essentially be easy to fall back on in terms of a distraction, self-defense mechanism. A lot of ladies who would participate went, oh, I actually don't know who I am when work isn't a part of me. Like, I don't know what I'd like to do outside of this. I don't know what excites me. And people were making friendships just solely based off of just foundationally who they were, right? Or who they were trying to figure out who they were. And I mean, man, it was just such an incredible couple of years building up into this massive conference that happened right before COVID happened. And we all know COVID. We all know Rona and how it interrupted so many of our lives. But that was my first Crossroad. I was living off of a high. The mayor was just like, oh my God, Leah's a change maker. And I was like, what? There were all of these incredible things that were happening, partnerships that I wasn't expecting, collaborating with Lululemon for self-defense classes, name drop. Never expected this for myself. And then when COVID happened, I was like, are you kidding me? When it started getting good, when I had a team together, we just got done with this retreat. And I was like, all right, guys, now I have people I can start paying. And I felt like it all got taken away from me. I was like, all right, whatever. Tried doing virtual experiences. Didn't work because the whole point was to be in person, to connect, to actually have human engagement, improve on listening skills, right? Because this was a dinner experience. Except we really didn't interrupt each other, but still, the experience was sit down across the other side of the table, listen. So I was like, you know what? I can't not sit still. Gotta do a thing. I'm gonna do Behold Bigger. I'm gonna do something so incredible that people won't forget me while COVID's happening. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a bus driver. God. By the way, my bus had a working kitchen and beds and kind of a toilet. Also knew nothing about automotive, so I learned a lot about fixing cars and jumping them and all the things. It broke down a lot. Accumulated a lot of bills. That's the toilet. Also, by the way, did you know we have cowboys in Maryland? Because that's where that gentleman's from. Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Hey guys, look how close this is. Please focus here. Right? She said we're really close, right? Look at this. I parallel parked this bus, by the way. And you know what sucked? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Even Dave was just like, you did that? And I was like, I did. It took me 20 minutes. And what sucked was that stupid car right behind me decided to come up, and they're like, hey, can you move? I can't get out. And I was like, are you serious? So I had to like beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep to get back out to let that guy out. But I'm very proud of that park job. So for context for the bus, don't know where the idea came from. That's a different story, because I do know where it came from, but I just don't have the time today. Decided to pitch to Fujifilm and say, hey, would love to be in the schooly era, while, because everyone started getting buses or vans or something, doing the travel life during COVID. And I was like, I want to do that, but I want to make it a project. And so convinced my husband, who just came back from deployment. I don't even remember what was going. He was gone for a long time. He builds things. I was like, can you make this bus into my mobile studio? That'd be awesome. He's like, on it. Got it done in 2-3 months? Horrible. During the not his craftsmanship, but the timeline was horrendous, because it took, 6+ months just to get it approved, just to convince Fujifilm to actually invest in me for this project. And then secondly, when they're like, yeah, go. The start time was crazy, and I had to find the bus. I had to, I definitely underestimated the amount of money that we needed to build this bus out. And also, Dave's biggest complaint, nothing's leveled. Nothing's leveled. So many curves. He's like, this is literally my biggest nightmare as a woodworker. And and so in the morning, I would be scraping all the paint, because what you can't do with retired school buses is you can't drive them yellow. Anyone can guess why you probably can't drive them still looking like school buses? Yeah, children, right? I could just roll up, pick up some kids, roll off. So I had to paint that thing white, make sure that I wasn't a kid stealer, and then, so I'm scraping stuff, sanding stuff. I got, folks up here who ended up helping as a part of that. We're taking things out of the bus, building shelves, all this stuff. Pinterest was my best friend during this time. And then we were off. The thing was, though, Dave's intention was build this like a house. So that one section where the guy was like, where's the door? It literally did fly off. It was a really thick wood door that you would use for a closet. And it looked so good. Not functional as a bus, because when you're driving a bus, you're like this the entire time. So everything that was on that bus was shaking off and flying and hitting me in the face when I was driving, including our door for the bathroom. So thankfully, the woman that I ended up hiring to film me during this entire project, which was for 3 months, by the way, I lived on this bus, she was there to hold the door from hitting me in the face when I did a really immediate stop at a red light. So needless to say, I was on a high. This was incredible. I told 7 stories across the United States, literally made an entire circle around the US. The project was called Before We Could Drink. I see a friend in here who's a part of that project who helped me find some of those people that I ended up interviewing. And, from working with Native Americans to our own local cowboys and stuff in the rodeo space here, like just the most incredible, powerful stories I've ever been a part of. Same thing, went through that roller coaster of highs. When I came back off from that project, got to submit some of that work to a local gallery here in DC, took first place. I was like, yeah, I'm telling stories, and I get to see my work printed and like displayed. I've never seen my work tangible like that before. And then, another crossroad hit. I got COVID. That wasn't the crossroad. I ended up getting COVID. Did my 2 weeks of whatever, hanging out in the house. Finally broke free, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna take the dog for a walk. So nice outside. But the day before, a little bit rainy. Next day, sunny, still a little chilly. So I walked down, had my earbuds in, listened to music, had my dog. Dog at the time doesn't know how to really walk on a leash, so I'm like this. See a little section that looks a little shiny? I was like, whatever, I'll just crunch right through it. Ended up hitting my head on the cement. Probably blacked out, don't know for how long. Thank goodness I had those stupid earbuds in because I like the way they look, but don't do that to me. This was a really scary time for us. I call my husband, and I was like, hey, I think I hit my head. I knew you're not supposed to move when there's a head injury. So I stayed there. Super awkward. I'm pretty sure there were some neighbors that saw it all play out, and they're like, oh no, I'm not gonna be a part of that. So I'm just like, splayed out on the street. Husband probably breaks the suspension on the truck, just like speed, but you know how many speed bumps there are at those neighborhoods in DC. Comes up to me, grabs me, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm great. Head hurts a little bit. Let's go for a walk. Took a walk for an hour. No big deal. He said, if you don't feel good, let me know. It's like, I'm fine. On a phone call with somebody. Oh, actually, this is perfect. On a phone call with somebody, and then all of a sudden the room starts spinning. And I'm like, I don't feel good. Now, I'm sure there's people in this room who have had a concussion before. I had a friend who actually had a concussion at the same time I had a concussion. So we called ourselves broken bean buddies, beans being our brains. I think I still have that text thread labeled broken bean buddy. And so what was so helpful through that situation is she was able to give me the therapist that she was working with. Sometimes we'd see each other when we would go through, in and out of the hospital for physical therapy. The doctors themselves were like, 2 weeks, you're good. And I was like, awesome, I got stuff I got to do. I just got through this big giant bus trip, and I have to go through post-production for this series. Fujifilm's relying on me. 2 weeks go by. 4 weeks go by. 8 weeks go by. My husband has to carry me to the bathroom, by the way. Can't do anything by myself. Can't walk. Literally can't walk without feeling like I'm having a heart attack. It was so hard to move my body. I was constantly feeling under stress. Not stressed because I'm stressed, but because my body is just trying to recover from this massive brain injury. And so I'm starting to panic because I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing great things right now. Why is this being taken away from me? My husband's like, you really need to rest. And I'm like, nope. Actually, no. Because I'm type A, because I love doing the most, I am going to recover so fast and so hard. Everyone's going to be like, she's still great. She's still great. So that's what I did. When I went to the physical therapist, I'm like, hey, this is like entry-level stuff. I need the information that really makes me get better quicker. And she pulls out this piece of paper, and it's like this, it's this currency sheet. There are all these different activities on this sheet that were worth a specific price. I'm gonna say price, she actually called them spoons. Still doesn't make sense to me. She's like, this is worth so many spoons. And I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at this thing. She's like, hey, by the way, you only have 8 spoons. But again, let's say 8 coins, because that makes a little bit more sense to me. You only have 8 cents. I was like, cool, here's my shopping list. Breathing, 5 cents. Eating, 4 cents. Going to the bathroom, 7 cents. Anyways, this entire list of just costs associated with just existing. Costs me something. Then all the other fun stuff, like hanging out with friends, talking on the phone, listening to music, still had cost 14 cents, 20 cents. I was like, how much money do I have again? She's like, you only have 8 cents, 8 spoons, 8 cents. I went, well, it looks like the only thing I can do is just like wake up. And she's like, yeah. You literally can't do anything. You're not in your recovery process where you can do anything more than just wake up and breathe. And I went, well, that's stupid. And I was livid, coming home, complaining to my husband, all I can do is just sit here. And he's like, yeah, finally. Do nothing. So, oh no. Okay. Well, I couldn't do nothing. I mean, I will say two things I could do without hurting myself, without feeling absolutely sick or just being in absolute pain, was listening to comedy, oddly enough. Couldn't listen to podcasts, couldn't listen to meditations, any of that stuff. That would give me a crazy migraine. I could listen to comedy shows, can't watch them, listen to comedy shows, and I could go garden. It was so weird. I would go outside. It would take, I'm like literally crawling on the floor to get outside. I was like, I need to be outside. And we have a little tiny DC backyard with like an apple tree I got from Home Depot that like never grew apples. And so like it wasn't really a vibe, but there was some dirt and some leaves and green things. Go outside, sit on the ground, place my hands on the ground. Didn't feel a thing. Started digging. No symptoms. Okay. Got a big shovel. I'm like shoveling. It's not like little hand shovel. I'm starting to do yard work. No issues. Never got dizzy, never got sick, never felt like I was having a heart attack. As soon as I walked away from gardening, I'd collapse. I went, Dave, we got to get out of DC. I'm going to be a farmer. He's like, okay. And I was like, I don't like this place. It stresses me out. There's all these things that are happening all the time. Everyone's angry. I hate the traffic. I miss trees. I've always been a tree person. He's like, if you can find a place that's in our budget, like I'm open to moving. I was like, what? We should have done this earlier. I was so mad. We were in DC for like 7 years. I was like, oh. So got my dog Archer. I wish I had time to tell you about how I got this stupid cat. Brought our cat from the city. Placed them all in a car, found a place in Southern Maryland just 35 minutes away from here, and somehow we're living on 60 acres. By the way, cheaper than our place in DC, so go buy land. That's all I have to say about that. But this man right here has been my rock. Every time I'm like, hey, I have an idea, he's like, okay, how can I support you? So, wait, maybe you're the issue. I can't slow down because you always tell me yes. Mini Crossroad, as soon as we move to this place, Dave gets deployed 2 months later. I have an entire year on this property by myself. So while he was gone, bought a lot of animals. When he came back, by the way, from deployment, this is what he comes back to. Anyways, when Dave came back, we had 40 chickens, which you could see they're on that tiny bucket there. There's actually one hiding in my jacket. Don't remember how many ducks we have. Those, unfortunately, are gone. Half in our freezer, half the fox took them. And some hawks. Anyways, we've gone through a lot of chickens, folks. It's wild out there. I learned a lot about death in a way I wasn't expecting. Here's the sheep I mentioned, not lying. It had a tiny sweater. That's my cat, way bigger than that lamb, by the way. We also have another cat. We actually had 2 cats. One also got taken by a hawk. Yeah, this is the emotional roller coaster we're going on to, okay? What else we have? We have the rabbits. I ended up getting another dog. Where is he in here? No. Boop. Oh, there he is, guys. This is why I shouldn't be given. Oh, there we go. Other dog. Oh, yeah, there's the other sheep. Liam Hemswool, by the way. Okay. Part of the story with the sheep that I'll kind of skip ahead and continue is someone's like, you can't just have 2 baby sheep. You need a mom sheep. How are they going to learn to sheep? And I was like, you're right. So I got a 3rd sheep. Her name's Coco Chanel. She's not pictured here. I don't like her very much. She's very mean. We got her as an adult, so she's not very nice. But anyways, I was living my best freaking life. Just gardening, doing the whole thing, everything. Incredible, right? I'm like rejuvenated. I will tell you, still can't do down dog and yoga. Makes me very sick. Can't look both ways too fast either. So if there's cars coming in quick, I just go because I don't want to get sick while I'm driving. So there are some things from the head injury that are not the same for me anymore. But because of it, eat healthier, all of the things. USDA grants start coming in because I can't do anything not being extra. Can't just live on the land without doing the most. So I started applying for sponsorships, for grants. I wanted the idea. I was like, maybe I can use this bus into my mobile eggmobile. And I'm like envisioning myself just like taking over DC, dropping eggs off at people's houses, which I did practice. It's horrible. I didn't enjoy it. So life kind of feels like it's getting in a good spot, getting the highs, but of course, crossroad, right? This one comes from a dad. My dad's in Germany, by the way. He was prior military. And so I grew up in Germany for a good portion of my life, go back every summer and Christmas to do the Germany thing. And I was going to Germany later, actually this year. And when I got that message, first I was mad because I hear, okay, Dad's in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, keep me posted, doing my best. I'm living my farm girl life over here. And then I get like a phone call immediately after, and they're like, hey, Dad's in a coma. I was like, what? This was a message on his birthday, by the way. We were just looking at like pictures of a prime rib that he made. And I was like, because his birthday's the day after Christmas. So Christmas prime rib. I was like, hey, Dad, I'll call you for your birthday. He's like, yeah, I'm not feeling too good. And I was like, all right, whatever. We don't have to talk that long. I don't actually think I ended up calling him that day. Get the message. So I'm like sending angry text messages. I'm like, Dad, what the heck? Like, why didn't you tell me? So that's what you see. Seriously, you're in the hospital? Get the call about the coma, and I was like, Dave, gotta go. Get me on a plane in 48 hours. I can fix this. So Dave comes with me. Little brother comes with me to Germany. Dave leaves in a few days. Brother leaves after a week. I got a one-way ticket, by the way. I was like, I'll be here for 2 weeks. No big deal. And as soon as I get in, I got A-type energy. I'm like, move out of the way. I know how to solve all my dad's problems. I always know how to solve people's problems. Let's do this. However, the doctors are all German, so I couldn't speak to them. So I just sat there awkwardly, trying to figure out what all the tubes were, where all the beep bops, and you name it. Just trying to figure it out. I was like, all right, well, I got to keep myself busy somehow. So re-met his wife at the time. She didn't know where any of the things were, the paperworks, you name it. And I was like, I got you, girl. I got you. making filing cabinet systems for her, trying to help her get into the mailbox, like just everything that you can imagine. I was there, I was doing it. I became the point person. I was like, hey, do you have a WhatsApp group? Got you. Got the WhatsApp group together, updating everybody on every time we got doctor notifications. What else would, I started like this scrapbook for Dad. You know, one of the doctors ended up giving us a book. They're like, oh, you can write in here because when he comes out of the coma, he's like gonna not know what's going on. So just tell him like all the different steps so it makes sense for him. It's like, awesome, let's do it better. I'm gonna bring my Polaroid camera and I'm gonna take pictures of everyone that comes into his hospital to visit him, and then I'm gonna have them write a message to them individually. I was like, all right, guys, who's on rotation for reading Dad books? Okay, got his favorite playlist. I'm going to be rocking out to Dave Matthews Band here with you day to day. Like, just constantly, boom, boom, boom. So much so the doctors were like, hey, you need to chill out. We actually think you're causing harm. I know we told you he might hear you, but maybe a little too much. I mean, I'm literally doing like thumb wrestling with my dad. Like, I get my humor from him. He's such a goofball. So all I wanted to do was crack jokes and hang out with Dad all day. 6+ hours a day, I would be there. I would be on rotation with the wife or anybody else who was visiting. Wasn't eating, wasn't drinking, just like, hey, Dad, I'll be here when you wake up. And just like if anyone's had an experience where a loved one is in a really intense care unit, there's ups and downs every day, right? One day they're like, he's gonna get up in like 5 hours. Like, awesome, can't wait. Then they're like, just kidding. Actually, this thing is failing over here. Don't worry, we got it, but it might set us back a couple of days. I was like, all good, I got a one-way ticket. I'm here until he wakes up, I need to be. 3 weeks go by. Now his family contacts me, his parents, sister. I have the right to know if he's gonna make it. I'm like, he's gonna make it. They're like, well, we're gonna fly over and see him. I was like, fine, okay, whatever. I was like actually thoroughly upset about it because I was like, you're just pushing this back. You're making me think he's not gonna make it. So don't come, but come because you're family. So they come. Can't be small about it. What do you guys need? You want me to give you a tour of the area? Yeah? Okay, have a tour. Let's try and, let me see if I can coordinate some food, so we can have this like German-style meal in the hotel. Everything, could not stop, had to constantly keep myself occupied and busy throughout this entire time. My grandfather ends up leaving the phone at a home, my dad's house that I was staying at, and the hospital is an hour away. So clock that in your head too. I'm constantly making 1-hour drives back and forth to go visit Dad. So I was like, no big deal. I'll go drop the phone off for you guys because they had to fly out the next day. This was around 10 p.m. at night. Come in, drop the phone off. I was like, I'm gonna go visit Dad one more time. Go back, drive back, sit down, and they're like, hey, we gotta go back to the hospital. I was like, are you kidding me? I just got back here. This is crazy. He didn't make it. The last time I wore this dress and the last time I publicly spoke was at my dad's funeral in Germany. I stayed there for 1 month. And guess what? I couldn't even do the funeral without being extra. I made this giant video. I smiled and laughed the entire time because I can't let people know when I need help, when I need support, because I'm the point person, because I'm the go-to girl. Gotta be, because I know what's up. But that woman who was crying audibly in the background of that video, finally got some release, and that was me. I was holding in it so hard the entire time because I wanted to help so many other people besides myself that I literally fell on my knees screaming. I finally got that release. And so I started thinking, what would it look like if I gave myself permission to ask for help? What would it look like is that every time I'd go to a crossroad, that I can look at someone across the street and be like, hey, I'm lost. Can you help me? Now, that doesn't mean that that person across the street is going to be like, yeah, I'll help you. They'll probably be like, bye. Bye, stranger. So don't be upset if you're at that crossroad and you're not getting the help that you're hoping for in that moment. It takes a little bit. Don't default to going back into control because, I could just do it better for myself anyways. That's not the point. Not every crossroad is for you to make a decision at. There are other stories that are meeting you at the intersection. Remember that there are other people who are probably going through something similar or completely different on the other side. You know what's crazy? I was telling a client of mine, it did not start at my dad, by the way. There was something else that ended up happening before then that was crazy. And I was like, hey, I'm really, life is lifing right now. And she's just like, I'm tired of your Karen excuses. Yeah. Not very empathetic, huh? Not the person on the other side of the crossroad that I was hoping for to get that support. But here's the thing. I know she's going through stuff too. And I'm okay with that. I wasn't okay with how she spoke to me. But I don't hold it against her. I'm like, oh, I know you're going through a lot. You didn't mean that. We don't talk to each other anymore. But but I do not hold resentment towards her or bitterness towards her. She just couldn't be my help at that time. And that's fine. We're skipping that one. Boop. No, I was trying to go quickly. Why? Why did you stop? Well, anyways, I pretty much just said that. Oh, wow. Well, this was a test on patience. Oh, wait, don't look at it. Don't look at that one either. Oh, whatever. Anyways, I was talking to my husband last night. I said, what is the takeaway on this? What am I supposed to give to these people once I'm done talking? And he's like, I'm sitting here, I'm like doodling on this piece of paper while he's talking to me. And he's like, and I'm just going to tell him I don't know. And he's like, huh. I mean, yeah, you can do that. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. I don't know what the takeaway is for this. I just wanted to have an opportunity to tell you and share, accept that invitations from Creative Mornings on a topic that I'm like, yes, this is my life right now. And I hope that any of the stories that I shared with you, that you can take something from this, either whether, again, it's for yourself or for somebody else. I don't know if it's a lesson on empathy. I don't know it's a lesson on being present, on being a better listener, on like saying I love you more, because you don't know when the last day. My dad was 35, or sorry, not 35, weird. My dad was 53, by the way. No issues. Just a viral heart infection that went the wrong way and turned into organ failure. Okay? Anything can happen. Matthew McConaughey quote, which I'm not going to quote word for word because he does cuss in it, and I'm trying to be polite. You know, he said, when you get poop on your shoe, you got two ways to react to it. You can either be mad that you got poop on your shoe all day, or you can laugh about it. So that's what I'm trying to do. We are always being hit with people on the other side of the road that are really annoying at that intersection. But boy, when you can, wow, I am missing a slide. I'm very sad. No, be patient, Leah. I'll hit it. Oh no, I did it. I literally was like, I can't wait one more second. All of these people helped me the entire time that I was there when I finally said I needed help. Old German neighbors when I grew up in high school, my little brother, my husband's there sitting on the floor. My old youth group pastor, and bless her heart, I'm just half the time I don't know who Jesus is. She still came anyways. She's like, did you find Jesus, Leah? I'm like, I got a lot of questions for that guy. I don't know. She's still 6-hour train ride. My grandparents that came hadn't spoken to them for a decade. My music teacher, another friend lives in Italy. She's like, I'm coming. She came 3 times from Italy, drove to help me out. And this is the last thing I'll say. I would leave out of the house to go cry privately somewhere in Germany. I'd be in the car park. Someone came randomly out of nowhere. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just going through it right now. And she's like, do you need help? And I was like, I think so. What I didn't know, she was our casualty assistance officer. They were coming for my dad's wife. They didn't even, they knew that my dad had a daughter, but I was just so in charge that they're like, oh, we didn't know you needed help. You look like you got it all together. And I was like, out of everybody here, she's been here for 3 years. I've been here for over 27. I kind of need some support. I lost something big. And I had a colleague, he's just like, yeah, when you lose somebody, it kind of feels like you lose a leg, like a limb. And you got to figure out how to walk again or use things again. You have it so attached, to yourself. It's going to take some time. So, whatever you guys got going on, remember that there's other people at that intersection. Remember to look up, okay? Also, this is me, super cute. Thought I'd do a little tribute to the red dress. Thank you so much, y'all. Appreciate it. Can I sit here?
You can sit. You can be comfortable. Jeremy got her in frame. We're good.
Am I still on? These poor
frame.
people. Are we late? I know I talked a lot. We're late, aren't we? It's 2 hours later.
We had some technical difficulties. It's Friday morning. We roll with it. Okay, so I knew this was going to be a crossroad for all of us. And I didn't warn you. And I forgot to tell you to bring out your tissues. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to tell you what we're going to do to wrap, so you can think about what time you have. We are going to do some Q&A. We are going to do our moment of quiet together. And then we are going to exit this room politely and lovingly, because we appreciate the Kennedy Center so much. And we will continue our conversations in the various lobby areas. There's a program happening here after us in this room. So we know what we're going to do. We are going to take a 10-second cool down for a second.
Sorry.
Don't apologize. Do not. And then we're going to do Q&A. Okay, so close your eyes. Have just 10 seconds, whatever you need. Breathe. Okay. Who wants to be brave and ask the first question?
Well, hold on. First, I want to say if anyone needs to leave, do it now. Because we won't hate you if you have to get up right. Yeah, go, go, go. Yes, of course.
Yep.
Love, love, love.
It's quite
no
all right.
offense taken. Yeah, run, run.
Flee, escape. Okay.
I love y'all for coming. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay, so we're gonna look at our wings here. LV, give us a little wave. There's a mic right there. Lovely volunteer, LV. Tyler, give us a wave. There's a mic right there. Okay, here we go. Hands raised. We're gonna ask our questions into the mic so that they can be recorded. for Jeremy back there. Let's go. Who wants to ask the first question? Yes.
How old is the lamb now?
Yes, let's go back to the sheep. So Lana is officially 1 year old. 1 year old? She is a year old. And for about half of that time, she lived in her house. Okay, moving on.
Hello? Hello? Is it working? Oh. Okay,
You
cool.
just gotta eat it.
Hello. Okay, I don't even know if it's a question per se, but observations and just appreciation. So the word that just kept coming up for me when you were speaking and just like existing as you are was just defiance. It's like you're defying the laws and rules and regulations that society keeps telling us we need to live by. And I thought it was so beautiful, so liberating, so freeing. And that's something I always felt like very fearful of like existing fully in. And I feel like the crossroad that I'm in is like freeing myself from where I've been. So I just want to say thank you. And
No,
I appreciate
I
it.
love that. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I think the gift of losing my father was that confirmation, the affirmation of like, why am I going to sit here and hold myself back? And so I hope you can give yourself permission of like, I can easily walk away from this and go, I don't care if somebody doesn't like me. Like, I just don't want to, I don't need to carry that. I've gone through bigger things. So yeah, keep doing it. Keep defying, girl. Gentleman in the back.
Can I ask Dave a question?
You can totally ask Dave a question.
I'm going to stumble over this question. I'm always struck by our space as Creative Mornings. We mirror the city of Washington, D.C., so we're anywhere from like 3 to 1 women to men. Today it's like 6 to 1. A lot of days recently it's like 6 to 1. Dave, I've watched you from a distance for as long as I've known Leah. And there's something remarkable about you as a partner that I want to learn from. And I think a lot of people in general would like to learn from. And I think a lot of men specifically probably need to learn from. I don't know what the question is. I think the question is maybe, I've known Leah for a long time, so like you as a leader is not a shocking thing to me, at all. I think my question is like how, what piece of it, what word would you give to a young man or an old man, in general, who is trying to learn to be a better support?
Easy one, huh?
Light work this morning.
Yeah. In short, right, it's, I mean, I wouldn't want to be stifled, right? Simply put, like, I don't have a, personally, I don't have I don't lead like a non-complicated life, right? I'm in the military. We don't get a lot of choices. And that's a journey that Leah has decided to take on with me, right? Not an easy thing for anybody to do. And it means that sometimes we're just gonna have to go and we both don't get a choice. But the things that I can impact, the things that I can do for her, she's joining me on this. Like, she wants to go. How do you want me to help, right? Like, that's the only thing I can do, because she's stuck by me through a lot of hard things, and you know, she's done years by herself because I've been deployed, like, and that's a lot on one person. Like, I'm off doing my thing, and that's what I kind of joined up to. That's not what she joined for. So the only thing I can do is just like help her do anything that she wants to do whenever she wants to do it, because like I wouldn't want to be stifled. So why should she? I don't know how else to put it.
I appreciate you, man. That's, yeah.
Love you long time. By the way, our anniversary is this weekend, 11 years. You're still writing me a card, okay? Don't make that count as some kind of... Yes.
Hi. I ran out of tissues. One thing I was thinking about while you were talking about the choices you made throughout your life is what makes you grounded? What makes you choose a certain path? Like, what kind of things that sort of like, whenever you're making a decision, there are characteristics that makes you feel okay making that choice. Thank you.
Connection, always. For me, what grounds me is no matter what I do, if you think about all of the different things that I've done just from 2016 and up, behold her. The focus was, how can I connect other people together? The bus driving experience. How can I connect people through the film that I'm doing? How can I think about the types of people, the questions that I'm asking them? How can I do it in a way where it's defying some of the things that we have the tendency of, not wanting to jump out? But I'm here today not because I necessarily want to be doing some kind of public speaking engagement, but I went, if I'm going to stay on brand, I want to make sure that there's at least one person in here that will connect with another person, whether that's you and me, whether that's someone that you ended up seeing when you stood up and looked across the room and realized that I am always trying to figure out how can I make a connection. Farm stuff, there's a girl in here, I'm bringing eggs to the place I'm working at right now. There's a whole egg cartel business that's going on. I don't know if I'm allowed to, I started a Teams thread sharing pictures of the chickens. So I was like, get them. $5. $5, by the way. So I'm always trying to figure out how can I, what is it, like leave something better than when you first, whatever, right? Something cute like that. Even if I'm at that crossroad, that intersection, and that person's making me angry, I'm just like, have a nice day. Because, or even I will literally shout at someone across the street, I love what you're wearing right now. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But I know when that person's walking away, they'll be like, oh, I feel better. I don't care. My husband cringes all the time. He's not a talk to homeless people kind of guy. I'm just like, hey, what can I do for you? I'm not going to give you money, but let's go into the shop and get a sandwich. Yeah? I don't do it all the time, but I also still say hi and make eye contact. And I'm just like, I wish I could be there to help you today. It's not me. But be blessed, High five sometimes, whatever. I don't care. Just be connection is a big thing for me. We're not here to live solo lives, though we act like it. We're in this room for a reason. Somehow we forgot to act like a community. I don't know. So, all right. Who else? Yes, ma'am. I hear you. Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Do you ever stop and take consideration of how many connections you made and impacted?
No.
For the video. How? Say it again.
Do you ever take time?
Do you ever take time?
How many connections you've made and the impact that you've had?
How many connections you've made and the impact?
No. I mean, when I review some of the footage, it gives me the warm, fuzzy feeling, and I'm like, wow, I did a thing. And then I'll turn to Dave, and I'm like, I gotta do a thing again. I gotta do it. It's so fun. And it's not for me. It was crazy. Even with Behold, people come up to me, they're like, man, you must have a lot of friends. I'm like, I don't. I'm too busy making friends for other people. So through all of these different experiences, I've been very lonely. Because I've been focused on trying to build connections for other people. So I don't really think about how many connections are being made because I just want to make sure it happens, and then I move on to the next space. So believe it or not, I don't have a lot of friends. I also have a very unique personality. I'm one of those people who are like, do I look fat in these pants? I'm like, yeah, those don't look good. Take them off. That doesn't sit well with a lot of people, okay? I have a very candid personality. I'm unfiltered. I don't care. The people who stay will love me, and I'm okay with that. I heard this one guy on Instagram, he said, you're either a lesson or a blessing, right? Love it. And I was like, yeah, I got a lot of lessons. A lot of lessons. I have a few blessings. And some of those people are sitting in the front row for me. So, don't count. But it feels good when I see people come back from the past, and I'm like, oh, I must have done something right.
Hi, I'm here. One of the things that I've been thinking a lot about that your talk kind of resonated with me is that I saw this like an Instagram post or something stupid like that, where we are so conditioned to not bother people. Like, oh, I'm not going to bother them if I need help, or they're busy or not. And so instead, what we've done, and I'm curious as to your thoughts on this, because like wanting to ask for help or whatever, and how you do this for other people without asking, is like, you know, oh, I'm not going to call my friend to pick me up at the airport. I'm just going to get an Uber. I'm not going to go to the grocery store. I'm just going to get it like delivered to me instead of asking my neighbor. These like small little things that we've made so convenient for lack of connection because we're afraid to ask. We're afraid for something as simple as like, I asked my neighbors like, hey, do you have like a half a cup of heavy cream that I need? And my neighbor was like, yeah, I do. And things like that. And I'm curious as to your thoughts on that in a life that we've lived so conveniently. Like we get in an Uber to instead of carpool with someone, or we, you know, just name a list of things that we've kind of like outsourced for a lack of connection that for better. I'm not saying those things are bad. I'm just saying they're different. And I'm curious as to how you, based on kind of that theme, which I kind of resonated with a lot.
Move to Southern Maryland, get a farm, and then you'll realize everyone who lives in your neighborhood needs a thing, and no one's afraid to ask help. No. I've actually been very forward with people and say, I'm not going to be a very good friend this year, okay? I can't. I need you. I think there's a difference between like, hey, can you help me? You have to like distinguish what kind of help. And I need you right now. My husband, bless his heart, you've been on blast all day. He's here for me all the time. He supports me. But he didn't understand the level of support until I had to tell him, I need you right now, not I need help. But even from like a small thing of like a Uber ride or any of that kind of stuff, two things kind of come to mind. One, it goes back to what I said earlier is don't be upset when you do ask for help and that help isn't given. That doesn't necessarily mean that that person doesn't want to help you. They either might not know how to help you if it's something a little bit more personal beyond like a carton of eggs, or they're at a crossroad as well, and they see you, and they hope somebody else is going to come to that intersection to help you instead. That's what I'm doing right now. Is like I've heard a few things that are happening with my friends right now, and I'm like, well, I know they're friends with so-and-so. I'm going to let so-and-so know. Maybe that person has the capacity to do the thing for them because I can't do the thing this time. But I send my love, but not in a way that's insensitive. Yeah. And then I think, too, just push. See, this is a friend evaluation era, specifically for me. You know, do the ask. Do it again. Hey, can you pick me up at the airport by any chance? Like, I hate to, but would love to catch up while we're in the car together. I'll give you some money for gas, or hey, like, let's make it a thing. Why don't we stop at Shake Shack or something, grab a milkshake together on me. We'll go, like, make it an experience, right? Make it like it's not like a one-way thing if it's something that makes you feel a little worried. That's what I've done to kind of ease myself into it. How can I make it like fun for the both of us? And it's not like, oh my God, I got to pick up Leah at 2 o'clock in the morning from DCA. It's like, come pick up Leah from DCA and I'll give you a loaf of bread, you know, that I made, and a carton of eggs, you know. We you know, what, for centuries, right? We've grown up in this trade experience, this trade era. You wouldn't just like come over, like and I hope this sticks with somebody today. I hate going to somebody's house and not bringing something over. Hate it. And I love when people come over to my place and bring something over. Hati, where is she? Oh my God, this lady. She's always bringing food over, and it freaks me out. It stresses me out because I'm like, I gotta make sure I have something delicious back. But it's so fun, making an experience. I went over to her shop, and I was just like, hey, I gotta find some clothes. I gotta look cute. She's like, I got you, girl. She not only did she open the shop, she still had food for me. I was like, are you serious? But I had stuff for her back. And it was so fun because we had a little morning, just me and her, sitting, eating bread, olive oil. She made some strawberry jam. Now she's gonna have some chickens. She's just like, I want chickens in my backyard. I was like, I got you, girl. Actually, you started it, the hatching. Now I have too many chickens. Make it an experience if you need to. And if that person, if every time you're like, hey, can you give me a ride? And they're like, nah, bye. Or they're just not reliable for an Uber ride. They might be helpful in a different way. I've learned a lot of friends through this experience with losing my dad. There were some people that showed up that I never thought would show up. There were some friends that were really close to me who really didn't know how to handle Leah being sad. But as soon as I was happy again, they were full throttle. And I love that. Didn't love it at the beginning. I was like, man, this person doesn't like me. They don't want to support me, blah, blah, blah. They're not my friend. And then I realized, oh, that person just shows up differently. It's a different kind of help. Not everyone can help the way that you need them to help. Don't hold that against them.
Okay, we're going to end there.
I talk a lot.
Thank you, Leah.
Just hide.
So what did we hear? Crossroads. I'm at a crossroads. You're at a crossroads. Might not be the same crossroads. You have to recognize the moment that we're in. Yes, we're in DC. Obi said Creative Mornings DC reflects the city that we're in. But we're here on a Friday morning, caffeinated, sitting together. Raise your hand if you're sitting next to a former stranger, because you've been sitting here for an hour together. Before this hour, a stranger. Raise your hand. Put them up higher. Woo! That's right. We're a community. We're showing up for each other. Thank you, Leah. I'm taking away from this the connections. It would have been doable and probably easy and very relatable to tell the very solo Crossroads story. This is where I'm at. I'm struggling. Whatever. Me. But Leah brought it back to us. What's happening with us, right? So let's just hold that. We're going to hold that thinking about us while I get my handy little timer on. And we're going to do the thing we always do. 2 minutes of quiet. Leah already made us put away our phones. They are not in our hands. 2 minutes, phone-free, sitting next to strangers and friends. Here we go. right. So the themes are selected a year in advance, right? We don't pick our theme. Somehow, even though they're selected a year in advance, they always seem to hit us in the moment we're at. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Kennedy Center. We will be back next month again, right here in the Kennedy Center. Woo! Yay! Yes, we're happy to be here. I'll give you a little preview of what we're going to do slightly differently next month. Shout out to Mackenzie, volunteer Mackenzie. I had this very cool idea. We will have at check-in name tags table next month, you can put your name in a bowl. If you have a 30-second, I'm doing an event on something creative for our community, and I want to tell people about it. We're going to do like 3 of those out randomly selected out of the bowl. So be thinking about that for next month. Thank you for showing up, for being here, for connecting your crossroads with ours. We are going to lovingly take our cups and all of our belongings and exit this room and continue our conversations in the lobby. Thank you.